So alright, good day guys, come here, welcome back to part 1 out of 3 of the video featuring Fairy Tail in Langrisser collaborations. And yep, just saying for fun at the start, and that's like a ending or open speech the protagonist team will always be saying when they are gonna overturn the situation against the enemy. So are you guys ready? So there will be 3 characters, and as you can see on the left, a character that is not with the name of an L. It's gonna be your free to get characters, and he is the male protagonist Natsu, and followed by the second Lucy L, and the last one with E, Elsa. So yep, summon characters, and they're not weak. At least that's the least I should be saying. And alright, are you guys ready? Here we go. And before we start, great thanks to Invasion Chat and provided by the Langrisser mobile app. Here we go. So on our first part, yep, I know you guys has been seeing some characters, but on the first part of the video, we'll be going through on Lucy. So definitely one of the protagonists in the series. Once I was saying protagonist, I gotta say she's more of a fan service character. I gotta be very honest with you guys. I am not that great. Yep, I should say I'm not a Fairy Tail fan. Not that I don't like it or what. There are just too many shows to catch up. In fact, I'm a fan of the author's previous work, Groove Adventure, Rave, and well, there are just too much animes to watch. But I know from my friends that they have been recommending these shows previously, and they know I'm a guy who likes to watch service to a certain limit. And yep, Lucy is definitely a character of great service in the anime. And of course, before you guys are wondering that the clothing she wears is not very attractive or something is missing, do not worry guys. You guys will be in for a treat when you see both Lucy's and Elsa's Echo-like skins. So I'm just gonna leave a little bit of mystery here for you guys, and this time around first part is gonna usual stuff. Videos split into 3 parts. First part is going through the characters VA, a little bit backstory, voice pack. Part 2, skills. Part 3, pros and cons and way to abuse the characters, and end with items built. So I gotta say this time around, I guess perhaps Zilong is a little bit in a rush, that they missed some preparations, because apparently for our part 1 of this video, this time is going to be much shorter because there is no voice pack release. As you can see here, there's nothing for me to play with. So sorry guys, you guys just get to wait and stay tuned. The actual detailed demo play I'll leave for you guys by then. It's alright. Her name Lucy. She's voiced by Aya Hirano, or Miss Aya Hirano, or Mrs. Aya Hirano, or perhaps Miss now. Some of you guys might find this name familiar. She is very famous for a lot of roles, most noticeably from as a female lead as Suzumiya Haruhi from the anime Suzumiya Haruhi no Yutsu, and followed by the female leading characters in Lucky Stars. She's the blue hair little chibi characters. And if not, you guys might have watched the news recently. For more details, please check or Google it yourself. She is perhaps known as the lady who managed to beat the crap or make Kamen Rider, the new Kamen Rider Amazon to cry or got bit the crap out of her. For more details, you guys can check out the news. Or maybe not bit the crap out of her, just being abused. So back to the story. So Lucy's story is as written here. So sometimes I gotta apologize beforehand, is as I do not watch the anime, I am not very familiar to every terms and details used, so there might be some error or wrong translations. I gotta apologize for that, but at the end of the day, what matters is the effects of the skills. Okay, back to here. So on the first line it says, following her mother's footstep. Second line, a young girl who is lost and trying to find belonging in her adventure. Being summoned by the celestial spirit from another world to come upon here. And the last line, witness how Lucy will become the mage of celestial spirit. So quick go through. Following her mother's footsteps, a young lost lady who is trying to find belongings in her venture, and being summoned by the celestial spirits from another world, we shall witness how she became the true and real mage of celestial spirit, or celestial spirit mage. And that's it for Lucy, since we're not able to hear her voice pack. And we have almost come to last but not least, this is her intended voice pack, but the thing is missing. Oops. So I'm not gonna give it a thumbs up. So apparently she's saying, so her summoning phrase is, I'm Lucy, the celestial spirit mage of fairy tale. Please show me your guidance. Yep. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. I guess we shall. Translator is please show me your guidance. So right, with that we have come to the end for part 1, but I gotta say, even with the clothes on, the clothes is not able to cover up her great status and figures. We shall find out if in the demo gameplay the stats will be shown, like what we have been seeing in Dead or Alive collaborations. So alright, welcome back to part 2, and I gotta say, you guys, you gotta be warned, because it will be kind of long and dry for Lucy, because Zilong apparently has gave us a big surprise for these characters with the amount of skills given to her. And are you guys ready? You're gonna be finding out soon enough. Let's go. So a little bit more background about Lucy. Her name is okay. Apparently now that we have a more expanded version of her name, her full name. So as written here is Lucy Hartfilia or Hartfilia. So apparently I'll be using leaning towards the Japanese pronunciation. Lucy Hartfilia. Not only she has appealing great looks, she is an important member of the Fairy Tale Guild, being their celestial spirit mage, one of the celestial spirit mage. She's kind-hearted, happy-go-lucky and active, gentle but strong. And in the guild, Lucy is able to use her own charismatic and appealness and firm spirit to win the love of the whole team and their firmness. So, wow. Okay, I'm not going to repeat that again. Okay. So, long story short, she is a character of great charisma. She is a very good, kind-hearted person. Despite her gentle looks, she can be a person of great spirit and stand whole to her idea. And because how nice she is, she's a lovable character in a guild. So yep. Alright, and as you can see, this is a faction buff. She's from Protagonist, Princess, and Timeless. So except for Protagonist, which is not doing that great, we still have Princess from Christiane, which is slowly to fade out from the meta soon, I guess. Then last but not least, we have Timeless, where Awakener is still standing strong, giving the faction buff. So hoping that moving forward or in a few months time, we'll be getting a better Princess, Timeless, or Protagonist faction buff. I definitely, as a fan, I hope that they gave a good and great Protagonist faction buff for our characters. Well, I guess we gotta wait to the arc of Langrisser Millennium, not the Langrisser Millennium WS. So perhaps it's a year or two. So from her talent, you guys gotta bear with me, it will be a little bit high and dry, and kindly ignore some of the mistranslation mistake, I urge you. So alright guys, ready? Here we go. Her talent, as I have checked from the Fairy Tale Wiki's site, it should be translated as Celestial Spirit Magic, aka in Japanese, Seirei Maho. The effects are as follows. So watch to the end for the translations I've done for you guys. Number 1, increase intelligence by 20%. Number 2, when Lucy and her Celestial Spirit deals damage to enemies within the skill range. Cast debuff to the enemies of the following stars, known as Hoshi, or moon, known as Tsuki. So stars effect is, after going to battle, apply moon debuff to the enemy. Number 3, when enemies with either debuff, star, or moon battle with Lucy and her Celestial Spirit, they will have stats aside their HP being reduced by 15%. Then following some more elaboration about, as you can see, the two types of debuff. The first one is star, the second is moon. Star has the following effect. Star or Hoshi has the following effect. Number 1, able to be targeted by Lucy and her Celestial Spirit to be the point of target of skills within a 6 block range. Number 2, ranged soldiers will attack together when going into battle. We have the second effect, Moon or Tsuki. The effects are as follows. Number 1, after Lucy or her celestial spirit initiate attack and dealing damage to enemy, deal one-time fixed damage to enemies 1 ring or circles around the damaged ally unit. So last but not least, both debuff effect cannot be immune, dispel, and last for 2 turns. Sorry, both Hoshi and Tsuki. So one thing I got to clarify first, based on my understanding, Star and Moon seems like a debuff effect, but it's not clearly written here, so we will find out more at part 3, the pros and cons about her talent and effect. Okay, so it's kind of long, so I'm going to repeat again. We'll be going through about how the effects means and actually works. So we'll be going through on Lucy's effect, then followed by the Star and Moon individual effect breakdown. So for Lucy's talent is number 1, increase intelligence by 20%. That's considered a lot. It's a faction buff stat. Number 2, when Lucy and her celestial spirit. So in this point here, her celestial spirits refer here are apparently summoned unit, so they are just summoned unit. So when Lucy and her summoned unit deal damage to enemies within the skill range, within their skill range or skill limit, they can cast debuff to the they can cast the buff or debuff to the enemies. The first debuff the first buff they will give is known as Star. So this Star do not has any direct debuff effect. Its purpose is that after going into battle, you will apply the moon buff or moon debuff effects to the enemy. So Star by itself is not that great. However, you can trigger and affect the enemies with their exclusive skills later on, but just by default itself, the purpose of Star is to make enemy get moon. However, there's definitely one small con here. It's enemies will only get moon debuff if they gotta first have Star's effect, and second is if you go into battle. So meaning AoE effect alone will not affect them, so you guys got to take note. Number 3, when enemies with either buff or debuff, Stars or Moon, battle with Lucy and her summon units, they will have stats reduction aside from HP reduced by 15%. And I gotta say this is not bad, it's definitely great because all stats reduced by 15%, because compared to other heroes or effect, more if not most of the time their effect is either reduce the offensive or the defensive or the enemy skills or crit rate. The great thing about Lucy is we just ignore everything aside from HP. We'll just reduce all their stats by 15%. So this is definitely a great plus for Lucy. Then alright, second part, talking about the Star effect, is once an enemy has the Star debuff, okay, so this is definitely the pros, that any enemies with Star's debuff effect, they will be targetable by Lucy and her summon unit for skill. It's not for normal attack, only for skills within a 6 block range. So meaning Lucy is only a 2 block range mage, but if you summon her summon first and deal damage to the enemies, get the stars. If the enemies decide to run away later on, but they are still within a 6 block range from Lucy, she will be able to damage them with skills. So enemies will be treated as skill range as long as they are within 6 blocks and when they have the Star debuff effect. Second is skill range soldiers will attack together when going to battle. So if you're using a range skills for attack, even if it's 6 blocks away, they will attack together. So they will be taking in full damage for the enemies. Third part, Moon. So it's after Lucy or her summoned initiate attack and dealing damage to the enemy, they will take a one-time fixed damage to the enemy's one ring or circles around the target. So this effect, in case you don't get it, for all of you guys who know this heroine known as Seraphina from Langrisser M Toy War, this is the same style as her 3C. So after you damage the, so I'm going to give you an example here, so bear with me. So if you're attacking Landis, after attacking Landis, and if he has Moon effect, after your attack, if let's say Zarada, one of her allies, is standing one ring or circles around Landis, they will receive a fixed damage based on Lucy's intelligence times 1. So not too bad. I mean, you can do full up damage. And last but not least, both effects of Moon and Star cannot be immune, dispel, and last for 2 turns. So this is definitely one of the cool skills effect. If this is considered a debuff, this is definitely a good debuff, because this debuff cannot be immune, they cannot be dispelled, and well, they at least last for 2 turns. This gave me an idea of an upcoming Dark Prince hero who's gonna receive his SP mode, but we shall find out later on if this is a debuff or not, so stay tuned guys. Alright, coming to exclusive skill 1, and yep, this whole list, as you can see, these sections, and these sections, yep, that is her exclusive skill 1 and up to here, because these are summoning skills. And she's definitely one of the most unique summoner hero released thus far, because she can summon not 1, not 2, but 3 forms of summoning, and her ability is she can gain her summon effect, which is a transformation skill. So are you guys excited for it? Here we go. Exclusive skill 1, Celestial Spirit Summon. So this is some of the strongest skills magic, or her core skills magic, that she used in the anime or the comics. Okay, this skill has a CD of now, the range of now, and the AoE is now. So there is no CD, which is very cool. Okay, the effect are as follow. Number 1, choose one of the summon skills, and the CD of the skills will be the same as the chosen skills. Number 2, only one celestial spirit of the same type can be on the field at a time. Oh, sorry, my apologize. As written here, it's only one celestial spirit can be on the field at a time. Number 3, you can pick and cast one of the following summon. So the first one, it's her first celestial spirit that she summoned in the show. It's Aquarius, and the effect known as Aquarius Gates. Summon Aquarius Aquila. Second, which I heard is should be the strongest summon. Well, at least that's what I read. One of the strongest summon is Leo Gates. Summon Leo Loke. the third one is Aries Gate summon Aries. Sorry, A-R-I-S, I guess it's pronounced as Aries. So allow me to check and double confirm.
Aries.
Yep, from Google it's pronounced as Aries. So okay, so the third effect is choose one of the summons to summon number 4. After using these skills, you can act again based on remaining mobility and attack again, and buff turn count will not be reduced. Number 5, if your class is Celestial Spirit Mage, you can summon an additional Celestial Spirit. 6, if your class is Star Dress Master Lord, these skills will be changed to Star Dress after use. So okay, I know you guys is going to be a little bit confused, but don't worry, we will explain to it later on. And before we go back through, the effect are not finished yet because I'll be going through on. Now I'll break down one by one, so we'll be going back through about her skills again. So before we go through the summons effects, so allow me to repeat and go through number 1, exclusive skill 1, Celestial Spirit Summon. So the number 1 effect is choose one of the summon skills, and the CD of the skills will be same as the chosen skills. So as you guys, if you guys are looking at the rest of the text down there, I know you can see the CD is actually 3 turns. So upon using, they will become 3 turn CD. Okay. Number 2 is originally for this effect, only one Celestial Spirit can be on the field at a time. Then number 3, you can cast one of the following summons. So you can either summon Aquarius Gates, Leo Gates, or Aries Gates to summon their actual counterpart. Number 4, when you, after using these skills, you can act again based on remaining mobility and attack again, and your buff turn will not be reduced. So this is an act, I will call it the weaker act again ability, because you're not really able to move that much again, because your act again is only based on remaining mobility. But the good thing is buff turn count will not be reduced. Number 5, if your class is Celestial Spirit, you can summon additional Celestial Spirit. This is referring to Lucy's character class change. So she only have one single rogue class. So the second tier is her second tier is Singling Mo Dao Si, which is written here as Celestial Spirit Mage, then followed by her last class, Star Dress Lord. So the 5th and 6th effect is talking about if you manage to, well, the better, long story short, if you manage to fully unlock all class of Lucy's, she will gain more benefit. So if you manage to hit at least your second class and above, you can summon more than one Celestial Spirit. So more than one Celestial Spirit can exist on the field. 6 is these skills will be transformed to another skills known as Star Dress, which will be going on later. So now we're going to talk about the summons effect and abilities. So coming to you is Aquarius Gate, number 1. So all of these 3 skills is also considered transformation skills for Lucy, but we'll be talking about the summon ability first. Okay, Aquarius Gate. So it's a 1C skills, has a CD of 3 turns. For skills, the summon range and AoE type is AoE. Okay. Number 1, summon Aquila and inherit the current 100% stats of Lucy. Number 2, you can cast Celestial Spirit's Art. You can cast her Water Celestial Spirit Art, and for this text here, I have not really looked through up on the wiki, so apologize. I will add them out towards the translation text at the end, so just treat it as you can cast the Celestial Spirit Arts from Aquila. So her effect is, first, teleport multiple enemies in range to target locations and deal 0.36 times damage to them. Second, enemies damaged by these skills will be treated as in water for 2 turns. Number 3, after using these skills, you can act again based on remaining abilities, and buff turn you have will not be reduced. So the skills is, Lucy will be able to summon Aquila from the Aquarius Gate, and she will gain, so these skills that she uses will become exactly the same skills that the summon has. So each of the summon has a skills. So this Aquarius Spirit Arts is from her summon. So the second one is, sorry, we will summarize one by one, my bad. So the effect of the skills is an AoE. So you can cast multiple enemies in range to target locations and deal 0.36 times AoE damage to them. Then enemies damaged by these skills will be treated as in water for 2 turns. So the water is definitely a debuff. So enemy units who are not water unit or flyer unit, they definitely will be affected for their mobility, especially horse units. Then again, casting these skills, you can act again based on your more remaining mobility. This is basically a repeat of the descriptions of the skills. I mean, I'm just merely translating word by word. Okay, second, so Aquila skills is an AoE skills, and he has AoE, he has teleportations, and also giving water, treated as water debuff. So this is apparently a very skills, not too shabby. And the great thing is, their summon will inherit 100% stats from Lucy, but I'm not sure about equipment. We'll find out more on part 3. Okay, second is Leo Gates. Summon Leo, Loke. I'm saying it in a funny way because it's L-O-K-E, not L-O-K-I. So the effect are as follow. So okay, the CD are same for all. Then number 1, summon Leo Loke and inherit the current 100% stats of Lucy. Number 2, you can cast the Lion Celestial Spirit Arts. Okay, it has a following effect. First, attack and deal 1.6 times damage to target enemy. Second, dispel 3 buff from enemy before battle. Third, if target has moon debuff, this attack will deal damage to enemy hero directly. Number 3, after using these skills, you can act again based on remaining mobilities, and buff turn you have will not be reduced. So right, Leo, as you can see here, is a single target unit, and the damage is definitely not too low. So his celestial arts provide loosely treated loosely translated as the Lion King's Brilliant, but I know that is not a honor or something. You gotta check back. Okay, so 1.6 times single target damage, that's a lot. And not to mention that before battle, you get to dispel 3 buff from the enemy. Then the third, which is need a little bit setup, is if the target has moon debuff, this attack will do damage to enemy hero directly. Okay, this is definitely strong because I have mentioned earlier, Lucy will transform with these skills and gaining the summon skill. So she'll gain this skill. So imagine the summon attack first and let the enemies to gain moon debuff, because the summon has no soldiers unit. They're just a hero. By the summon is treated, you can take it like a hero without soldiers unit by himself. So the damage they can cause is definitely lower. But imagine if you're using Lucy, who gets to bring soldiers unit with her. When using this Leo Celestial Arts, 1.6 times damage directly to enemy hero, that is definitely a lot. So I gotta say, this summon Leo effect, after you manage to do the setup, this is like a magic version of Omega. Yep, this is definitely like a magic version of Omega. Okay, last but not least, the third summon is Ares Gate. Summon Ares. So I'm not sure if this is a pun or a mistranslation. Apparently, the English version of the Ares Gates is known as Ares. Then the summon in Chinese is called Aliyesi, but I checked from the wiki. Apparently, the name that they gave me is also Ares. So I'm not sure is a name made based on the pun or so. Okay, effect as follow. Number 1, summon Ares and inherit the current 100% stats of Lucy. Number 2, you can cast Ares Celestial Spirits Arts, which will do the following effect. First, deal 0.36 times AoE damage to enemies in range. Second, damaged enemies will get debuff effect known as Ship Fur Bomb. Ship Fur Bomb will give the following effect. There is, the next time enemy enter, they will take a one-time fixed damage based on the caster intelligence times 2 to itself and its allies, 1 ring or circle around it. Then note that third is the effect cannot be dispelled. Fourth, okay, additional effect that you can apply to non-female unit for 1 turn is silence. They will not able to use active skills. Number 3, after using these skills, you can act again based on remaining mobility, and buff turn you had will not be reduced. Okay, so I gotta say, this is definitely her strongest AoE skills for Summon and Lucy, the Ares Celestial Arts, because 0.36 times AoE damage, and afterwards they'll gain this debuff known as Ship Fur Bomb. That is, when the enemy enter next time, they'll take a fixed damage based on the caster times 2. It's not times 1 but times 2, and it will damage any ally standing around it. So again, this is like an upgraded version of or similar effect. This is just a mage version of Seraphina's 3C. So again, let's say Landis, he has the debuff, so when he enters, if he has any ally standing around him, they will take the fixed damage too. And in addition, if the damaged enemies are non-female unit, they will gain an additional debuff effect that is silence, meaning they'll not be able to use active skills. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Another mention, this effect cannot be dispelled, so you can protect yourself from it, but after you get this debuff effect, this effect cannot be dispelled. So I will say this word: no matter what, you will get this debuff, get to take this debuff effect, unless you have bracer on all your heroes and you're immune to fixed damage. That would be cool. If not, that's not so good. And that's it for exclusive skill 1. Now coming to exclusive skill 2, which is apparently, as you can see, very short, known as Star of River. It's a 2C skill, has a CD of 3 turns, the range is 2 block, the AoE type is magical single target. The effect are as follows. Number 1, attack and deal 1.5 times damage to target enemy. Number 2, this attack ignores guard. Number 3, when battling with enemies with star debuff, you will cause the other enemies standing one ring or circle around the target to gain moon debuff. Okay, so apparently this upgraded or assistant skills that helps with her to boost her talent for stage 2 to gain moon debuff, but under the condition if enemies are sending around their own allies. So the effect are dealing 1.5 times to the target enemy, but the second part is, well, the cream of the pie. This attack ignores guard, so this is a magic assassin skills. Enemies cannot tank for their allies. Then number 3 is when you battle with enemies with the star debuff effect, you, instead of their target alone, you will cause one ring or circle of the other enemies around it to gain moon debuff. So trying to spread and affect as much enemies with her moon debuff as possible. I gotta say, but this will be greatly effective for PvP if the enemies is playing turtle team, because only on that conditions will the whole team be staying close together. Okay, exclusive skill 3, as you guys can see, the great long list. This is a transformation skill. So exclusive skill 1 is the summoning skills for Lucy to summon the summon. So now this is the transformation skills for Lucy, which at the same time allows her to gain the summoned skills effect. So I will try my best to shorten it for you guys as possible, so you get, but no promise, get bear with me. So here we go. Exclusive skill 3 is known as Star Dress Mix. It's a 1C skill, CD of now, the range now, AoE type is transformation skill. So apparently this is the transformation version of exclusive skill 1. So upon using skill 1, it should become this, because after unlocking Lucy's third class, exclusive skill 1 upon casting will be changed to this skills effect. So it's a 1C. Okay, the effect as follows. Number 1, choose one of the Star Dress Mix skills with the following effect. First, except for Aquarius, summon the equivalent celestial spirit. Second, afterwards, these skills will become the skill of the chosen celestial spirit. Third, after using the skills of the celestial spirit, these skills will be changed back to Star Dress Mix. Fourth, each celestial spirit can only exist one of the same type at the same time. So right, this is the first part. We'll go one part by one part with some of extended effect here being put to its actual counterpart to be explained together. So if you guys are looking at the translation I've done for you guys, you might hint that some of the things may not align directly. I'm trying to do in a best summarizations for you guys. So alright, we got to go through one by one. So for the first effect, because second, third, and fourth towards its summon counterpart, so I'm going to the first part. At the start phase of this skills is you can choose one of the following Star Dress Mix skills with the following with the following effect, except for Aquila, which you will not be able to summon. The rest, like Leo and Aries, you will be able to summon. I'm not sure for the reason why, but this has definitely something to do with the anime or manga itself. And afterwards, the skills will become the skills of a chosen celestial spirit. So this become a transformation skills itself, and this means there will be no CD for the skills, because after using the skills of the celestial spirit, these skills will be changed back to Star Dress Mix. So this is a transformation skills that has no CD. Okay, so this is a very cool and strong skills in my opinion. Then last but not least, each celestial spirit of the same type can only exist at the same time. So I'm gonna say there is you can summon more than one celestial spirit now when you have Star Dress Mix ability, which means when you have unlocked till the third class of Lucy. Okay, that's it for the first part. Now we'll be talking about the second effect, which is Star Dress Mix Aquarius form. So this is a transformation skills. The effect are as follow. First, you will be able, upon after casting these skills, you can act again based on your remaining mobility plus 2. Second, both Lucy and her celestial spirit will have increased crit rate by 100%. Third, increased damage due to enemies in water by 20%. Fourth, you will gain 1 mobility immunity when passing through water, tight, or swamp terrain. Fifth, this effect cannot be dispelled nor immune. Okay, so this is a the fifth part is definitely strong. Effect cannot be dispelled and it cannot be immune. So even if you give debuff effect, like the enemies cannot receive buff, sorry, too bad, you will still gain this effect. So okay, let's summarize again. So these are very cool skills. You can act again based on your remaining mobility, but you gain a plus 2. So this is similar to Zareta's rune casting skills. So additional plus 2 mobility. So this is pretty cool because she only moved 3 blocks, so you can gain 3 plus 2, which is 5 blocks. Then not to mention the second part is it's not just Lucy herself, but Lucy and her celestial spirit, and it don't have to be only subjected to Aquarius or Lucy only, it's to any of her celestial spirit. So as long as there are celestial spirits on the field, when she casts the skills, they will gain this effect. Then the third effect is increased damage due to enemies in water by 20%. And again, this is for both Lucy and the summon, so this is pretty good. And the fourth is when passing through either water, terrain, tight terrain, or swamp terrain, you can gain 1 mobility immunity through them, so you do not have great obstructions against them. And last but not least, effect cannot be dispelled nor immune, which is pretty cool. Okay, second effect. Star Dress Mix Leo form. Okay, so the effect as follow. First, summon Leo Loke and inherit the current 100% stats of Lucy. Second, transform Lucy to Leo form and gain the following effect. When, number one, when battling with enemies with moon debuff, you will attack first and increase damage deal by 20%. Number two, this form cannot exist with Stardress mix form at the same time. Sorry, these skills cannot exist with other Stardress mix form at the same time. Oh gosh, as I said, if you guys look at the text, there's so much translations and perhaps translations error at the same times. Okay, then third is you act again based on remaining mobility. So that's the effect for Stardress Mix Leo. So except for Aquarius, which you can no longer summon for some reason, Stardress Mix Leo form, you allow Lucy to transform into the Leo form and gaining his skills, and at the same time is able to summon Leo, which inherit 100% of his stats. Then the effect is when battling with enemies with moon debuff, you get to attack first and increase damage deal by 20%. Then the usual stuff, the form cannot exist with other Stardress Mix form at the same time. Then you can act again based on remaining mobility. Not much, nothing much special in my opinion. Is only when battling against enemies with moon debuff, you will then attack first and you will deal increased damage by 20%. You only gain this if you damage enemy twice, and not to mention the second times you got to go into battle, so the enemies will gain moon debuff. Definitely not that feasible in PvP, but it's definitely doable in PvE. Okay, fourth effect, Stardress Mix Aries. Okay, effect as follows. First, summon Aries and inherit the current 100% stats of Lucy. Second, transform Lucy to Aries form and gain the following effect. First, when you or your celestial spirit deal damage to enemies, apply a random debuff effect that cannot be immune nor dispelled. Second, this form cannot exist with other Stardress Mix form at the same time. Okay. Third effect, act again is based on remaining mobility. So that's all. But definitely, Aries form is better because when you transform into Aries, either both Lucy and her celestial spirit, when you deal damage to the enemy, you can apply random debuff effect that cannot be immune nor dispelled. So there is no way for the enemy to prevent these skills. This is very strong, and that's it. So there's like an additional point. The rest is repetitive effect, like they cannot coexist with other form, and act again based on remaining mobility. The only plus is for the act again plus is for Aquarius form, because you gain a +2. Then but if you gotta say the best form, I would say is Aries, because when you do damage, whether AoE or not, as long as you deal damage to enemies, you apply a random debuff effect that cannot be immune or dispelled, which is pretty cool because Aries is an AoE debuff, AoE with debuff effect, and in addition to that, you give an additional debuff effect to the enemies. How cool is that? Okay, and with that, we are coming to the end of a 3C, and thank goodness her 3C it's not that long. Okay, and not sure if I have translated it wrongly. The 3C is based on what I've checked from the wiki site, should be known as Hirano Metria. So these are stronger skills that Lucy possesses, something to do with holding the power of 88 or 89 planets or stars. So again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a hardcore fan of fairy tales, so pardon me about that. Alright, this skill has a CD of 5 turns, the range is 3 blocks, the AoE type is magical, 4 blocks. It has both passive and active skills. Okay, for passive, number 1, when Lucy or her celestial spirit summon attack enemies with either star or moon debuff, increase damage deal by 15%. Okay, that's it. So this is a passive, and definitely very cool and very good. It would be bad if it says when Lucy or her summon attack enemy with moon debuff, but as long as enemies get either of the debuff from her talent, when dealing damage against them, you automatically gain 15% damage increment. How cool is that? And Lucy is not the only one who will benefit from these skills. Her celestial spirit, the summoned unit, will receive the same effect too. So this is pretty cool. So the only downside is this is a passive effect. So if you get enemies' abilities that seal up your passive effect, then you will lose this benefit. Yep, the passive definitely all pros and no cons in my opinion. Okay, active skills. Number 1, deal 0.36 times AoE damage to enemies in range. Number 2, damage enemies in additional gain moon debuff effect. Number 3, after using these skills, if you have any star dress mix skills, you will lose the skills and reduce both you and your celestial spirits skills by 3 turns. Okay, we'll go through in case you guys might be confused. It says, okay, number 1 is dealing 0.36 times. Apparently not too much, because this is the same as summon Ares. Ares is the same damage, the amount of damage given from the AoE. Then the second, which is apparently the pros, is damage enemies from these skills, from the 3C, will additionally gain moon debuff. So this helps speed up her talent second phase, because the first phase is star, the second phase of the debuff, which you need to attack again to build up, is moon. But damaging enemies with these skills, whether they have star or not at the start, will render them getting moon debuff straight away. Okay, the third is after using these skills, if you are in possessions, or if your characters have any star dress mix skills, they will lose the skills and your celestial spirit skills by 3 turns. So apparently it's not causing you to lose the skills. The meaning here is it reset the CD of the skills, so you can cast and transform again later on straight away without the need to wait. You just refresh your CD, because the CD of that skills is 3 turns max. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So you can choose to transform again and choose the form you want and use the skills that you want to damage your enemies. So yeah, that's pretty cool and pretty long. And thank you guys for staying with me. If you guys are really watching to this part, please give yourself a clap. Okay, and that's it for Lucy. We'll be going to part 3, where we'll be talking about the pros and cons and how it works. So here we go. Alright guys, welcome back to part 3, and before we carry on, a very great thanks to information shared and provided by the Langrisser Data Bank, and on this last part, we'll be finding out more pros and cons and other necessary information to help build up Lucy as a characters. Here we go. Okay, so unlocking a bond. So usually they are collaboration heroes. The bond is very easy. So defense bond is to win in the daily Apex arena one time. Then the strength bond for building up her attack and intelligence is allow her to become the Star Dress Lord, which is to open up her full class. And these are the necessary material needed to do her rune emblem or full casting materials from level 1 to 10. And this is the only class she gets, so it's a single line. Personally, I believe moving forward, I'm not sure if this is the intention, moving forward, all these new strong summon heroes, they will be giving perhaps one single class only. Hopefully that's not going to be the case. It's going to be a little boring. Okay, the only thing that's going to make it nice is for me in explaining the skills effect, because lesser class, lesser bond effect. So only one bond effect. Star Dress Lord is level 4. When being attacked into battle by enemies with debuff effect, damage received reduced by 10%. Level 7, increased AoE damage by 10%. So okay, personally I'll say this is not very good. There are pros, definitely. There are cons. You only receive damage reduction when enemies has debuff. Then, so it's not generic. Then generic enough. Then level 7, the worst cons in my opinion is increased AoE damage by 10%. So she has 3 summon. Only 2 summon abilities and skills can benefit because they are AoE, but the so-called stronger, or if not the strongest summon from her show is Leo, that is single target, and he will not be able to benefit from this effect. So there's definitely some downside. Okay, there is definitely a clarification now. Sorry about it, guys. Star and Moon is neither a debuff nor a buff effect, so it cannot be prevented by crystal protections from characters like Rose and Seals. So sorry for the earlier blunder or coming out from my mouth. I keep saying it's a debuff. My apologies, it's not. So it's just considered a unique buff effect icon that is not considered a buff nor debuff, or you can just consider as an effect icon. I can say overall I hate this kind of behavior from so long. It's not just because I'm right or wrong, but initially we see characters with the icon, we will call it a buff or debuff, but right now you come to the phase that you make icon appearing on characters, but they do not consider buff or debuff. That is very weird, and especially players when playing in PvP or PvE, they might easily get lots of misunderstanding. Apparently, I mean, some of you guys, smart guy might be out there saying, well, we have read through the wiki, didn't you? Not everyone does that, and let's be honest about it. Langrisser is coming to its 7 years. There are so many characters to remember, and not to mention we got to take care of both new and old players alike. So it is players will easily make such mistake. And I gotta say, this is definitely not a very great thing towards newer players, because newer players start out with the game knowing about buff and debuff initially, until if they new players came into the game at this point of time, there will be a lot of things they need to remember or understand. So in my opinion, it is not so friendly to everyone. Yeah. Even I gotta admit, even as a 6 years going 7 players, I made a lot of misunderstanding and mistakes too. Okay. However, when battling with enemies with star or moon, they will have their stats reduced by 15%, are stackable. So star and moon, just to clarify, is individual icon and they can stack. There is no clash, because as mentioned here, in case you guys are wondering, is so as you guys can see, when enemies has both moon and star and moon, they will have stats reduction by 30% aside from HP. So the effect can stack, and well, the downside is that only when battling with Lucy and the Celestial Spirit. So then this, I'm not sure if this a debuff. Apparently it did not really say the stats reduction is a debuff, so you will not be able to negate it too, I'm presume. So we can check on the following clip, is that the following stat reductions includes class advantages, and this can trigger Gay Succubus, aka LLR Ferroquest, act again effect, and you can help allows Gay Succubus with the debuff effect, so you guys can check. So the enemy is a Gay LLR Gay Succubus, so the summon managed to kill off the enemy Gay Succubus. And the video that you see here, why they put an ally as a Gay Succubus, this is trying to give you an idea on how you can make use of Lucy's to combo with your team. So you can make Lucy to attack as the last or second last characters. So if you have the necessary counter attribute effects, and while you have Gay Succubus in your team, after dealing damage you can get Gay Succubus to act again, and there's a chance for Gay Succubus to kill off any weakened important characters when the enemies has no more turn count left for the characters to move or avoid your advancement. And talking about the range, so when enemy has this talent effect from Lucy's star, as long as they're within 6 round range, they will be targetable for her skills. Then if enemies has moon, and when receiving initial attack and dealing damage from Lucy herself, you do an additional fixed damage follow-up from other enemies, one ring or circles around the target. And do note that the fixed damage can be stacked to a maximum of 5 times. So as you can see from the picture below. Oh, so this thing is if all enemies standing around each other, they have the moon debuff, it's not a one time. Every one of them will trigger the fixed damage. So in PvP, there's only normal situations. There are only 5 enemies, excluding summons. So there's a chance that if you're fighting against turtle formations, the fixed damage can trigger 5 times. So there's a high chance that they will be killing off themselves from this effect. So yep, the max stack show here is 5 times. So the enemy that she attacked here is Erza in the middle. Then afterwards she take one from the continuous fixed damage from Elwyn, Thierry's, and Wetham. Okay, this is a list of skills Lucy will have. The first one is her 3C, then this is the range skills, exclusive skill 2. Star of River. Then this is the Stardress Summon skills, the exclusive skill 1. So this is basically a summon skills that you can choose. So you click on these skills, then other 3 more icons will appear. So Aquarius Gate, Leo Gate, and Aries Gate. Then of course when you clear your max class, these skills will become Stardress Mix, which is the upgraded version of the original skills, where you can transform both Lucy and you can summon her summons and also transform Lucy to their respective form, and other skills that she'll gain. In my opinion, I gotta say, in my opinion, 3C is not a must to bring in PvP. I feel you can swap 3C for the Magic Tremble, the skills, because it will reduce the magical defense of all enemies, and you just follow up blasting from your summon. That'll be cool. Okay, this is the additional skills bestowed upon Lucy and her summon. So the first one is the Ship Fur Bomb from Aries. Second is Leo Loke, exclusive skills, and last is from Aquaria, exclusive skills. Okay, so again, the effect, okay, perhaps I may be wrong for the 3C, as similar as explained on the stats reductions. If enemies has both star and moon talent icon from Lucy, the damage that she do, instead of just a fixed 15%, it will be stacked up to 30% damage increment, which is, well, a lot. Then if that's the case, I'll say she'll bring a Stardress Mix, the magical vibrations, and a 3C. So that would be great. She can transform, cast 3C, then the next turn, or any characters can act again and cast magical vibrations. I'm going to presume enemy is going to die. So this is the 3C skills. You can just let it out. It's empty. You don't have to target an enemy. So basically, like Cheffernel's 3C, the Heaven Judgment or Heaven Sanctuary. So you can just blast. Of course, if enemy damage and enemies being hit, they will gain the Moon icon effect from her talent. And after using the 3C, you can reset your Stardress Mix skills. So reset the CD, and afterwards you can reuse your Stardust mix and summon new celestial spirit of the different class if you want to get more allies on the field. Okay, as written here, if Lucy is at her last class, Stardust Lord, this skills will, so exclusive skill 1 will be transformed to exclusive skill 3 known as Stardust Mix. So you can summon up to 3 celestial spirit as instead of the initial 1 celestial spirit. But once you're at Stardust Lord, at this phase for some reason, they do not allow you to summon Aquarius Aqualia. And this skill is apparently a switching skill switch skills. So there's no CE. That's pretty cool. And okay, the pros about the transformation skills is that this transformation skills from Stardust Mix is not considered a buff, so we do not have to be afraid of gaining debuff effect that stop us from transforming. Yep, so this is definitely pros. Then I'm talking about the Aquarius form and skills. So this is her Aquarius Aqualia skills, and apparently, as you can see, the characters has some design change too. That's pretty cool. So apparently she has a total of 3 design change, so we'll be able to see more during the demo play. So it says Stardust Mix Aquarius form. Lucy and her celestial spirits will enjoy crit rate of 100% increment and deal increased damage of 20% to enemies in water, and when passing through water, tide and swarm, you have 1 mobility immunity reduction chance and cannot be dispelled. So that's pretty cool. No one can stop her form. So Aquarius skill is pretty cool. You can so-called change the location of the enemy, and the point of release will be the center point that is closest to the enemy. So we're gonna do a quick lookout on the checking here. So this will be it's a 3x3 center point, and I think the center point, it should be from the picture here, is Ice Queen Imelda here. That's a middle point. So after teleportations, as you can see, the first pick, Nonorine and the puppet summon, one is on the left and one is on below Ice Queen Imelda. But after casting the skills, Ice Queen Imelda positions will not change, but Nonorine and the summon are being changed. Okay, that is very weird. I'm not sure why Nonorine is being swapped out for the characters. Oh, is it swapping of skills? No, it not really mentions, or perhaps I have misinterpreted. Okay, we will find out during demo play. So you guys can expect it's a longer demo play because of the different skills. And now, as you guys can see, this is a second form. You guys already said it. Leo Gates and its Loke skills. So it has damage increment, and its damage increment is only effective against single target effect. So as you guys can see, on the left, that's a summon, Leo Loke, And on the right, as you can see, Lucy dressed in a very pretty black elegant gown. So the effect here states Star Dress Mix, Leo form. Lucy and her celestial spirit, when battling with moon icon enemy, you will attack first and deal damage increment by 20%. This effect cannot be dispelled, so yep. So it's more direct. I guess the most easiest to understand and most direct is locate, and we have Aries skills and Stardust Mix. And again, you can see so how much like Aquarius form give you like a childlike look of Lucy, and changing her hair colors to a bit grayish. Then Leo form make her like a more like a well-dressed woman, grown woman. Then we have Aries form, make her like a funky gyaru. Yeah, but more those hyperactive gyaru. Okay, and this is skills and art. Okay, Stardust Mix, Aries form. When Lucy and her celestial spirit deal damage to enemies, you'll do a random debuff effect that cannot be dispelled. Oh. Oh, sorry, my God, my bad. Again, I believe it might be a translations error. So the effect cannot be dispelled, but not from the debuff. Let me double confirm. Okay, it's not really shown here. Okay, I'm very sorry. So as we can see from the list of debuff, apparently the debuff can be dispelled. Again, my apologies, some error in translations. So okay, these are the list of debuff that you get. It is like a lower tier black hole debuff effect because there is no silent, no mobility reduction, and fixed damage. So this is a list of debuff effect you can gain from Aries. Attack intelligence reduction 20%, magic defense reduction, defense reductions, damage reduction, damage received increment of 20%, silent of your passive effect, unable to receive buff, and unable to receive healing. Okay, this is talking about using her 3C to refresh her Stardust Mix skills. She can summon new summon, and the newly summoned Celestial Spirit can move and release skills normally. So as you guys can see, originally she already had summoned Aries. This is after using the 3C, so she can use Stardust Mix and resummon Aries again. So the original Aries will disappear because one of the same type can only exist at the same time, only one. So she recasts and resummon Aries at the positions. So as you can see, the newly summoned Aries can act again and still cast skills. So this means you can do a combo. On the first turn, you summon your Aries, let's say due to some reason she's at a safe zone, she won't be coming with you directly, then you can move up, cast your 3C, then afterwards you can, or perhaps should I say it, at the first turn you summon your Aries, Lucy move up, cast 3C, damage enemies, then Aries will also cast her skills to damage enemies. Then you have characters like Liana or Ashen act against Lucy again, then Lucy will cast Stardress Mix against, and let's say you want to resummon and cast AoE, you resummon Aries, so the original Aries with skills and CD will disappear, and you manage to resummon a second summoning of Aries, and she can do an AoE damage again. So it's a triple AoE bombing style. So it's a 4-time AoE bombing style. Yep, the maximum, so apparently is written here, the maximum output Lucy can do in a turn is 4 times, meaning the output we are talking about here is dealing damage 4 times or act again move 4 times. But this is with the help of unit setup. So on the field you already has 2 Celestial Spirit to do damage output, followed by Lucy using Stardress Make, resummon one more Celestial Spirit, then she'll cast her skills and resummon the spirit again. Oh, sorry, it's kind of confusing for me. I guess I'm old now. Okay, clarifications for exclusive skill 2. Star of River. So it's this is a 1.5 times damage. This battle, when battling with enemies with star icon from Lucy's talent, you give, before battle, you give enemies standing 1 ring around the target to have moon debuff, excluding the target you're going to attack with these skills. But nonetheless, if you damage it, at the end of the day, they'll get the debuff. Okay, other additional info about Lucy is when using the transformation skills, she can trigger the Night Blossom Flowers dispelling effect. So if you're being affected by debuff effect like Act Again effect, you can trigger this effect to dispel the sealing effect. Afterwards you will be able to act again. So apparently when you cast the skills, the dispel trigger first, followed by your act again if you're being sealed with act again. So after dispelling, you'll be able to act again, some small additional stuff. And Stardress Mix is not considered a buff effect, so not able to receive buff will not affect Lucy. So as you can see here in this clip here, so she already has this debuff icon. And whichever Stardress Mix or whichever transformation state Lucy is in, her Celestial Spirits will enjoy the additional benefits from her, as you can see below, because she summoned on the left, as you can see, she summoned Aries, but the form she's using is Aquarius Stardress Mix. And when you click on Aries, she has the Aquarius Stardress mixed form buff or abilities effect that says Lucy and her Celestial Spirit gain 100% crit rate when in water, deal additional damage of 20%, and when passing through water, tide and swamp, obtain mobility immunity chance by 1 and cannot be dispelled this effect. And some of you might be curious about comboing with Enya. Okay, the cool thing is both the original Lucy and the photocopy or the copy version of the Lucy is not able to share the Stardress effect. However, their own Celestial Spirit can both share the Stardress effect. So as you can see, characters like Leo Loke, he has both his icon and Aries buff icon. So Lucy as a hero herself, whether it's a copy or original, they can't enjoy both of the buff at the same time, but the summon will be able to enjoy the buff at the same time. So this is definitely a cool part. Okay, and for PvP summoning rule, no matter you are the first player or the second player, the summoning rules positions for the summon goes with priority. You go in the order is summon from behind or at the back, up, at the top, bottom, and front. So you can go with, if you are standing on your player 1, you're standing on the left, the summon will be left, up, down, right. If you are being blocked by something, this is the position you're summon. Then on the right, it will be right, up, down, left. So things you guys will need to take note. Okay, let's see if there's any important stuff. Okay, so I guess the greatest pros about the 3C is you don't need to target enemy, you can just release on empty space, and whether you damage enemies or not, the 3C after casting will reset your Stardress mix skills. So this is definitely the best pros of it. Okay, we have come to the end, and sorry that make quite some translation and understanding error for Lucy herself, because well this has been a very busy month for me at work, so not able to stay too focused. Sorry about it. So again, very grateful and thankful that you guys stay put and watch the video. Thank you guys for watching. We have come to the end. Last but not least, this is the item build suggested for Lucy. Hope I can do better during the live demo play, and we'll be going into more details about Lucy. So this was suggested item build. So priority for PvP is highlighted, as you can see, the dispelling items, Night Blossom, then clothes like AoE damage reductions is written here. Then as you can see, helmet, Tenyo headdress is missing out from here. It doesn't mean she can't bring that, it's just she's not a healer or not just a pure support character. Instead, she can go for more offensive. So the priority is to give items that will allow her to give debuff to enemies, or assist allies from getting other debuff, or just going for damage increment for herself. Because Tenyo headdress is a random buff effect. You do not know what buff you might get, but wearing the following helmet will give you a fixed buff effect that you will know. Then definitely for accessories, you can go for the ring, or if I will say it, you can go for bracer for stats, better stats. As you can see, the list of soldiers, and we have SP reach on this banner. So overall, the opinion and rating for the characters for PvE and PvP are not bad. And for the enchantment, for if you're going for PvP, definitely suggest to go with Breeze, because she only moves 3 blocks. You want higher mobilities, then followed by Full Moon and the yellow enchantment. But overall, personally, I feel that yeah, definitely she do not need clock, because the skills are resetting. And okay, I guess that's we shall end here. For more, we will definitely be going through the demo play itself on the day to do more testing ourselves. I think what I'm going to say is it has not really mentioned here that if the summon will receive the items build. I'm going to presume, since it's not mentioned here, the summon, they do not receive build effects like range increment, etc. But we will find out more during the actual play. And thank you guys for watching. See you guys is coming. See you guys on part 2 and part 3, featuring Urza and ending with Natsu. Goodbye.